We will be beginning the City and Community Relations Committee. Today is May 22nd. It is about 5:44 p.m. In attendance today are board members Sarah Robinson and Kara Meeker.
You guys are good. You don't need a person?
No. And
We're
yeah,
come on
another
in. Happy to have you.
board member, Brenda Hastings, is here, and our lovely Superintendent Kathleen Murphy will be here momentarily. We have some guests here today that I just want to welcome. Someone's getting their merit badge, I hear, for Boy Scout. Do you want to introduce yourself? You don't have to either. I know this is more than you were expecting.
But now it's on record and into perpetuities. Yeah.
I'm Casey. I have a requirement for my communication merit badge where I have to sit in on a public meeting.
Welcome.
Awesome.
Happy to have you.
Thank you for being here.
Glad you chose ours.
So these meetings are relatively quick and expedient. We'll start by discussing. Oh, welcome.
So sorry.
Thank you.
It's part of it. No worries.
Just for the public to know, the board oversees the superintendent, so we're the superintendent's boss who arrived to this meeting late. But that's okay.
For the record.
Put it in the notes.
For the record. And Kath,
See, even I get in trouble for being tardy. You see what they do to me?
No, happy you're here. You're right on time.
Yeah,
Uh,
thank you.
Casey's getting merit badge. Superintendent, did you know that?
No, I didn't.
So we have lovely public participation. If you want to show up to a board meeting, come anytime. We're here. We're fun. We'll talk. First order of business is discussing visibility. I sent out to board members some tentative times that we'll be able to do our visibility down by the State House. The dates are Saturday, June 4th, Saturday, June 11th, Saturday, June 24th, Saturday, July 8th, and Saturday, July 22nd. I'm aware that there is 2 weeks in a row, and we said every other week, and that is
It's okay.
okay. No one needs to commit to anything if it's too much work as well. Thank you to school board member Brenda Hastings for already filling this out. I am really appreciate the expediency. And with that, do board members have any questions or thoughts?
Just where are you located now?
We will be located in the same spot as 2 years ago, which will be right in front of, not right in front of the Franklin Pierce statue, but
Yep.
right next to Capitol Street.
And you'll need
Franklin
your
Pierce.
sign.
We
your
will
big
need our school district sign and our school district materials and pamphlet
tables,
and a table
chairs.
and a chair.
And I was going to give you a strategic plan.
That would be excellent.
Yeah.
Calendar.
The trifold, the little trifold.
Oh,
that
yeah.
With just real
Yep.
quick information. Calendar.
Calendar.
CRTC information, one of the new books.
Those are
about
pretty.
The programs, those are beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What else? We had those wonderful magnets, do you remember?
Are we
Yes.
out of them?
With the calendars
Yeah,
on them?
well, they didn't have, I don't remember if they had a calendar or not, but everybody's telephone number on it, so you could put it on your refrigerator and
That's nice.
No, where?
parent, guardian could just,
Mm-hmm.
let me find out if we have any of those floating around.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thanks, Kathleen.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Is there anything else the public would like if you were to visit the school board down at the farmer's market or market area? That's totally okay.
I have a request about visibility, or maybe not a request, but a suggestion for us to noodle on.
Absolutely.
Is like the farmers market is a specific demographic
Yeah.
of our community. I wonder if we would be open to visiting laundromats in the community and being available to folks who are like doing their laundry on the weekend. That's usually a part of the community that doesn't have the luxury of having a washer and dryer at home, being able to throw it in and forget about it and go to the farmer's market. So if we could just let everybody think about that, I'm happy to offer up time to do that.
Where are
Just-
they? Where are those?
They're all over the place. There's one there's a South End one. There's one up on Washington Street. I have yet to figure out where the Heights location is, but there's not many.
Road.
It's where?
Loudon Road.
Oh, perfect. So yeah, there's opportunities for us to be available. That's real community building can happen if we make ourselves available. Maybe bring some books, read to their kids while they're trying to fold their laundry, and just sort of answer any questions and be available to people. Just an idea.
I think that's a great idea.
Okay.
Do you have certain days that you think would be
Not any in
most
particular,
effective?
but what I can do is I can add a page
That'd be
to,
awesome.
thank you, and I'll just include the locations, and we can all sort of focus on our wards in particular, our zones.
Yeah.
And sort of speak to our constituents there. It's just one of those third places that people have no choice, they have to access. And I think it would be able to do a little bit of wraparound conversation with folks that we don't normally get to capture in these
Definitely.
spaces.
I think that's a great
We could
recommendation.
possibly do even just like, we could set a date, make sure the laundromat, if the owner needs to know we're
Approval.
coming.
Yeah.
And then just kind of have a pilot day where we see how things go.
I think that's
We,
a good idea.
Check the hours to see when
Hey.
families are more likely to arrive.
Yep.
And then kind of build a potential program out of that day.
Awesome.
That could be cool.
Yeah, I think so too.
Excellent.
So I'll put some details in that document that you made, Jonathan, and we'll figure it out from there. Oh, thank you. Here you go, Barb.
Oh, well.
We're a small group. It's okay.
Awesome. Yeah.
I like it.
I think that's a great idea, and I know we discussed the community center as well, so we could add an additional tab as well
Yeah.
there and figure out when we can make
Yep,
these
that's a
times
great
work.
spot too.
All right, cool. Good
All those
choices.
sports games.
What happens at the community center on a Saturday morning?
Oh my God, everything.
All the sports.
Basketball,
Yeah.
I don't know if what they do in the spring and summer there, but
I mean, they have
Let
baseball
you set
games
up a
and things
table
like
there,
that.
And you can just have a table there and do what you do
Yeah.
at market days.
The Heights Library has coloring, like open library coloring for kiddos on Saturday mornings. It's actually been really clutch while we're watching sports if my kids can wander over to the library. So that's a demographic of folks that are like taking advantage of that spot too.
Are we talking like summertime, like when school's out?
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Because stay and play and the Parks and Rec community, like they meet at the community center and kids either do stay and play or they do field trip camp.
Mhm.
So there's a ton of kids and parents that just line up in the mornings right outside.
Yeah, my kiddos did Parks and Rec last summer.
Yeah, so that could be cool.
Yeah. Easy to capture people's
Yeah,
attention
they're
while
there,
they're there.
just waiting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I'll figure out, like, weekend seems more feasible than early morning stuff, so I'll see what their programming is gonna look like for summertime and what would be an ideal spot for us to get the most bang for our hourly buck, if you will.
Superb.
Okay.
Any other thoughts on this? Board Member Hastings?
no, I'm just listening.
Okay.
Like it all.
Awesome. Okay, we have school board and city meeting. I know in previous years, in addition to the legislative breakfast and legislative meetings, the school board has had a separate meeting with the city staff. Do we have tentative dates and times? Just kind of.
There's so much into their budget right now at the city, so,
That's tough.
yeah, I haven't met with Tom. Jack and I usually meet with Tom Asbell, so I'll get a date for you, because last year, do you remember that? You met with them here in this room? We had a
That's how
breakfast
it used to
meeting?
be years ago. When I chaired it, like 10 years ago, we had like 4 meetings a year, that was it. And we always met at City Hall, and we just talked about shared things.
Yeah.
So it's,
So we're gonna do that,
Right.
we'll do that.
I like it better, I like that we're doing more, that it's an actual committee now, not like a make-believe committee. But, which is kind of what it was for a long time.
Thank you.
No, it was, used to be, it was make-believe. Okay, right, Yeah, right. So anyway, yeah, but that's important.
I'll
We
get a
share
date-
too much
I'll get
with
a
the
date
city
for
then.
you. You know, just keep in mind a couple things that, you know, we have the International Night on Friday night, if anybody at the high school, you know, if anybody's free from 5 to 8 at the high school.
Really good food.
Yeah,
Mm.
really,
Yeah.
kids, yeah, it's really good. Also, don't forget, we'll have, in August, we'll have night at Keach Park, right? So the school board has a big presence there.
Ooh.
And all the families, we invite all the families, and we do all the we do registrations, we do
Dinner, games,
games,
giveaways.
they do everything.
They had back to
Prizes for the
school
kids.
supplies for kids. It was great, amazing.
We did a table for filling out hot lunch forms, right?
Nice.
So
And you had translators too.
we had translators there, so we met with different groups, language, by language, so that and then we had people like, all of us spread ourselves out and were with the groups. So if they asked questions, we could answer those questions, and the translator would help us if there was an issue with English, or I couldn't speak the language, so it was helpful. The other thing is the one over at, the big one at Keach Park.
Multicultural Fest.
Festival as well.
Fest. Will we do that again?
I think it was beneficial to have us there, and I enjoyed the partnership we held with the city counselors who were there in attendance as well. I think that's good.
When is that?
It's in September, isn't it?
I think so.
Say that again?
September-ish, sometime.
So that's
late
something
summer,
that we
early
want,
fall.
yeah, okay.
Anything else? Superintendent Murphy as well. I know board members had a couple questions about school board city athletic meetings. Have those been going on?
Well, we're, as you know, the city put in their budget their half of the money to do the master plan and the analysis of existing conditions. They did that, it's in the budget. There's a hearing. There's a hearing on June 12th, Monday, June 12th, thanks, Brenda, on Memorial Field. So I'm not sure exactly, Jack and I knew that we needed to be there, but I think it would be.
Can board members go?
Yes.
Because I have a lot of history in that
I know you do.
aspect of
I know
school
you
board.
do.
Yeah.
If
So-
anybody does, you do.
So, yes, but it's just a hearing to hear
Yeah.
from the community.
June 12th?
Yeah,
Oh,
June
okay.
12th. I'll get more details as we
That's
get
the Monday,
closer. I believe it will be at City
Let me
Hall
check.
in
Yes.
their room, their community room.
She asked if it was Monday.
Oh, yeah.
It's the public hearing on the recreational portion of
Yeah.
your budget as well, I think.
Yeah, and they are gonna address the Memorial Field issue, because it was a separate, allotment of money, so. That's all I've heard at this point. But I will say that I've heard a lot of positives that the district is moving forward. At least, let's look at it. What do we have to do? What does that mean?
And I realize I'm going out of order as I'm asking this question, but the other district event coming up is with Judge Broderick, correct? Is that this week?
That's Wednesday
Wednesday.
night. It's at the community center up on Loudon Road, and that starts at 6 o'clock. And former Supreme Court Justice John Broderick will be presenting around issues around mental health.
What a brave man. What, his
Yeah,
willingness
he's-
to share all of
Yeah,
that.
his story is incredible, and then,
Yeah.
but he's worked with kids across the state. He's visited hundreds and hundreds of schools, and now he's kind of focusing on families and parents, because parents are, these are tough issues, right? And so that he wants to be able to share some things with parents. So that's one of the reasons why we did it like this. He also we're working on having him come to the schools, middle school and high school, so he'll do some gigs with them and meet with the kids, which he loves. The other is an author who wrote a book, Irene Busheen, and she'll be there also talking about mental health.
That's great.
So, and we have about, I think Janine told me this afternoon, 10 vendors. NAMI's gonna be there, Riverbend is gonna be
Oh,
there.
great.
They're all gonna have information tables set up. So if you're interested in some service that would support children and families, that they'll have some information there. So we're kind of excited. This is a nice night.
Well, and I know in our last instructional meeting, we discussed some city and community relations items that we don't always get to discuss here, such as the district's partnership with Riverbend. And I think it's important to highlight these partnerships to show that the district and community organizations do have some cohesiveness and are working together.
Well, the other piece that around city and community is the work with equity. The mayor and council reached out and want to partner with us in our work, both with schools in the city together, working around equity issues. So I'm very pleased about that. So.
All right, legislative breakfast part 2 or legislative dinner hors d'oeuvres.
Cocktail hour.
Cocktail hour. I wish. Any? Have you heard any updates? I haven't heard any
a
updates
word.
either.
I think the legislators are up to their eyeballs. I'm
I-
trying to just get through the budget and some of the legislation. I mean, there were bills, hundreds and hundreds of bills this year. And as you know, they're taking votes, and the budget probably won't get finished and completed until mid-June at least.
Yep.
You've been watching
Yeah.
it pretty closely.
Senate's working on their piece right now. Senate Finance is meeting all through this week, potentially next. But they don't have all day, you know. They actually have to come together on something, and then it's sort of like the melding of the three. Pretty much at this point, it's just executive session on anything that's sort of like got an FN attached to it. They have to get through all that stuff, so, because all of those will have budgetary implications.
Everybody sort of indicated to me that the breakfast was a better idea because they're fresh. They can come at 7.
Yeah.
We started at 7:30, right?
And we had a wonderful turnout.
And we had a great
We did,
turnout.
Wonderful.
yeah.
By 9 o'clock, they said, "See you later. We're going over to the State House."
Yeah.
I think after the day, the long
tired,
day,
right.
they want
I
to go
agree.
home.
I agree.
And
And I thought that was wonderful. I completely agree. So that would just be something we'll have to discuss with the
yeah.
city to
Let's discuss
encourage
with the
that
city.
Mm-hmm.
Can
as
I
well.
put that on the agenda with the city when we meet? Because I do. An
I think
agenda.
that would be great if that is
Okay.
before. Or do we anticipate that meeting would be before?
Before the end of the year.
Well, I guess that's the question. Will it be before the end of 2023?
Yeah.
But will it be before the legislative breakfast? The meeting with the city. Are we intending for that?
Well, like I said, I haven't got a date yet, so
Right.
let me
Well,
press Tom a little bit.
because we couldn't put it on the agenda then.
And then I couldn't have it on the agenda. We've already exceeded the time. I'll
Perfect.
see how it plays out.
Perfect. Any other board member thoughts to this? No.
Nope.
Okay. We kind of already went through upcoming district events. Is there anything else anyone would like to highlight?
Well, I just want to bring your attention, I told you about International Night, Friday night. I want to also remind you about the Wall of Fame. And that's going to be
Yeah.
a nice night. It's the first time that the high school, they just put up the board.
gorgeous.
The board. It's beautiful. Michael sent me a picture today. They're working on the lettering now. And will honor 2 Concord grads, former Supreme Court Justice David Souter and General Brooks, who served in a number of wars, representing the country. So, but he has passed away, but his family is going to be here. They've all, they're from Arizona, or
And they're
coming
flying,
to the
yeah.
event, yeah.
Well, that's great.
Yeah, and Jim's gonna speak, Jim's gonna speak on behalf of the board, so that's really nice. I'm glad that the board will have some presence, and I would encourage you, if you can be there, it's just gonna be a great event. It's also the night, the students are there too, so if you are planning on going, you have to let me know.
What's the night again?
It's June 13th, at 6 o'clock, the ceremony. The reason I say that is that they want to start out in the auditorium, and the seating, there's 396 seats, and so there's tickets. So if you want to go,
Gotcha.
there's room, but you gotta let me know so I'll get you a
Okay.
ticket.
Awesome.
Okay, thank you.
All right. I talked to Michael today. Of course, graduation on the 17th. Barb, I have your robe. Picked it up.
How can community members get tickets if they want to?
I would call the high school. I have no idea.
So call the high school
Yeah.
if they want to
Yeah.
attend. Okay.
Yeah. It'll be a nice event. I'm anxious. The kids will introduce former Supreme Court Justice David Souter, and as you know, he's pretty recluse. So it's interesting, with him coming out and going back to his high school. It'd be great.
That's pretty
who he
great.
is, though.
Yeah,
If he's gonna
he's a
come out,
quiet
that's
guy.
what he would
Yeah,
do.
Mhm.
yeah. He had a great interview. The kids interviewed him. Students at the high school interviewed him. His first interview since he was interviewed for the Supreme Court justice seat. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
wicked
and it was
cool.
with students, so is that like the best?
That's
Yeah.
super fun.
Yeah, that is the best. I think that's it. Last day of school for our students, other than seniors, is the 21st, and teachers on the 22nd.
Excellent.
Okay.
Is there any other business that anyone would like to discuss?
Just want to think for a minute. Hold on, John.
Well, I guess I would perhaps recommend if there is a way to create a system for people rather than just them calling the high school. Because I don't know, is there a certain person within the high school
Oh,
they
just
should?
talk to Lisa
Just
Lamb.
talk to Lisa
Oh,
Lamb.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. She
Okay.
knows what's going on. I just want to make sure I've got everything, but I have. I've got everything.
And I just wanted to mention, because we did talk about it last time, that market days, I just wanted to
Yes.
confirm
Oh,
in the
yeah.
public sphere that we are not gonna have a table at market days. They sold out. We were waitlisted. They were willing to take us off the wait list, and I think we just decided as a group, sort of off to the side, that the effort might not be worth it this year because the cost is high and it is gonna be very crowded. So I think we can come up maybe with some creative ways of just being present without necessarily having a table.
Definitely. That doesn't mean board members can't walk around with our badge on and
And a T-shirt that says "Ask me a question." I'm a board member.
That's the last thing I wear.
exactly. It's 2023 style.
That's all I have, Sarah.
That's all I have as well. Is there anything else? Our visitors?
No.
Our public visitors? Anything?
Did you already get a report on the Eagle Scout project?
Well, somewhat, but I think if you feel comfortable discussing it with the rest of the board, do you
You're
feel
getting put on
discussing
blast
your-
pretty
your-
hard, kiddo.
You don't have to.
Well, do you want to explain what tonight means for you?
Tonight is one of, I think, 2 or 3 requirements left for this merit badge, and that's the last thing I need to get life rank. And from there, I can start all my merit badges for Eagle, and I can start putting together a Eagle Scout project. To be
Amazing.
approved, I think.
Wow.
Congrats.
Yeah, congratulations. Exciting.
The merit badge you're getting, since I apologize, I was late, but the merit badge that you're working on.
Communication. I have to
Communication.
attend the public.
That's good. I'm an Eagle Scout, so.
Oh, of course you are.
But that does not surprise me in the least. Yeah.
You should be very proud of yourself.
and great communication skills.
Hey-o.
And for those who were wondering who was that person talking in the distance, that was board member president Jim Richards, who announced he was an Eagle Scout. Is an Eagle Scout. Just want to make sure that everyone else got to hear that. If there's no further business, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there
Seconded.
all those in favor, please
Aye.
signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, all in abstention.
Okay, hold on. Motion to adjourn by,
Me?
all right, Sarah, seconded by.
Kara.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I was trying to make
No
that's-
problem.
Don't even worry about it.
time, 6:07.
6:07.
Normally I saved that for 2 truths and a lie.
Okay. Thank you everyone for
Thank
coming.
Find a new one.
Thank